Hi everyone and welcome back to card number 7. I hope I gave everyone long enough to get their bits and pieces together. So let me just go through in case you want to do the same colours as what I'm doing. I'm using Bubble Bath ink, Pool Party ink, Cherry Cobbler ink, Darling Duckling ink and a Winker Stella pen. Okay. My mix and match is the same as before. Okay. Hi, Tanya. Give everyone a couple of minutes to come back on and get organised. So I'll just go through that again. Our inks, if you want to do exactly what I'm using Bubble Bath, Pool Party, Cherry Cobbler, Old Olive, Darling Duckling, and a Winker Stella pen. Sorry, guys. And I think I'm going to grab a butter menthol while I'm waiting. Got this terrible tickle in the throat and it just won't go away. Okay, I'm just going to clean my blocks off. While we're waiting. I've got green so I can leave the green. And I'm using a different blue. Well, Tan, I think it's just you and I at the moment. We'll give everyone a few more minutes to come on. And then we will get started. You get all your things done that you needed to get done today, Tan? I hope so. You're up early this morning, picking up paper and enjoying the morning. Okay, we've just had someone else come on. Who's just come on? I'm not sure. Say hello if you come on so we know who's here. We're just waiting for everyone. You got everything done. That's awesome. I'm so glad you did. Hi, Lillian. Good to see you on. We're going to start in just a few minutes. I'm just giving everyone a couple of more minutes to come on. I will say the colours one more time, darling. I was just waiting for a few more people to come on. So we're going to use Bubble Bath, Pool Party, Cherry Cobbler, Old Olive, Darling Duckling, Winker Stella pen. Now, if you don't have Bubble Bath, you can have a pink similar to that. If you don't have Pool Party, which is a bluey colour, you can have something similar to that. Cherry Cobbler is like a red if you don't have that. Old Olive is a green, so you can go with some sort of green. And Darling Duckling is a yellow, so you can go with some sort of yellow. And you'll need your Winker Stella pen again because we're doing a standard out front card. This is a great little fun fold card. It's a great one for using up scraps of designer series paper. Even though I'm using strips this time, you can do them, which I'll do one day for you, with lots of strips of designer series paper. Hi, Susan. Good to see you on. I hope you're doing well today and hubby's doing well. Thinking of you both. So, okay, so let's come down and get started. You can always come back and rewind the video. Sorry about my hand for just 1 minute. Just got to get it right in the light. Okay. So those girls that got your sent out packs. Now, a question I have been asked, can demonstrators join in to my post out? Yes, certainly you can. Do you have to buy your products from me? No, you do not. If you're a demonstrator, you can buy it through yourself. Okay. In this, we'll have an envelope. We'll have our little bling in this kit. You should have some little bling. You'll have a piece of white card, which is 10 by 6, and this is the piece we're going to start with. We're going to start with this piece. Okay, so let's start with this small piece. We're also going to come in with our flower, or whatever flower, excuse my stomach, that's terrible, or whichever flower or stamp you've got, but we're going to be using this image from the Christmas greetings. So Memento black ink, we're going to ink that up. Now this is a little gold nugget I was taught by the beautiful Jenny, which she saw, I'm not sure, I think on Facebook. But your white ink pads you get from Stampin' Up are empty, but they're a big pad, and then you can refill them with your Memento black ink. Now, normally I wouldn't suggest something different, but I tell you what, it is brilliant. One of the best tips I've had in a long, long time. So ink this up, work out whether you want 3 flowers at one end, 2 flowers at another end. It's entirely up to you, and you're going to come in and put this across. It will come off the page a little bit. That's okay, just stamp down across the front. Clean your stamp with your chamois. Okay. Now, this is how I've got mine. So it's just come off a little bit with the leaves and a little bit at the top. Nothing much to worry about. But here and here, you want to be able to write some words. Okay, you want to put your Happy Christmas or your Merry Christmas or whatever you can in there. Okay, so we're going to grab our Winker Stella pen. I've cleaned my blocks, and we're going to start off with Bubble Bath. Now, I don't know if everyone's noticed this year, but Christmas has got lots of pastel-like colours. So Bubble Bath is one, and it's in the paper as well, that I've given out in the kit. It's a very light one. Make sure that your pen's cleaned. Yes, mine wasn't. I didn't clean it last time. Make sure it's clean before you start. There's nothing worse than picking up your pen and you haven't cleaned it. Okay, that's better. Now we're picking up the pink. We're doing the poinsettia flower. Has everyone noticed that it's very light colours this year in our shops? You'll see there's lots of pinks and blues and not the traditional red and greens that we normally have. So come through and colour the poinsettia with your Winker Stella pen. You can have it as light or as dark as you like. Sometimes you have to let it dry and then come over with a second or third coat if you want it to really, really be dark. That's fine too. That's a choice. Or you can let it just fade into the wing Castella itself and just come out like a cleary colour as well. Just gives the shim. Now I'm not going right into the centre because I'm going to bring one of those blings into the centre. Okay, so we've got our flower done. Once again, come backwards and forwards, clean your pen. Grab a tissue if you're going to remove the ink. Remove it onto a tissue or paper towel. That way you're not putting it into your chamois because you don't want it to go onto your ink. But the pink is really pretty. I don't know if you can see the glitter on that. It's hard to tell. Okay, now we're going to come in with our pool party, which is a soft blue if you don't have pool party. Now don't forget we've got our January event happening with our post out. It's on my Facebook page under events, so check that out. And it's limited. Now why do I say it's limited? Because I only cut so many kits up for people, and then after that they have to do it themselves. So if you want a kit that's already all prepared for you with some goodies in it, then I'm only doing that one blue one there, and I'm doing 2 blue ones down here. You can do it how you want to do it. So if you've done already a whole lot of flowers, don't worry about that. Just, that's fine. These classes are not like my normal half-hour classes where everything's fast. This is to give you time to actually craft with me. So, you know, sometimes we just take our time and colour it in. So I've done my 2 blue ones down this end. And like I said, if you want to darken any up, you can. Clean my brush off again. Get that blue off. Once again, have that tissue that you had before. And wipe the blue off. I'll put that back over there for later. And we're going to come in with the cherry cobbler or the real red, whichever colour you want to use. Okay, cherry cobbler is a bit darker, and I thought I'd just share that one with you. Okay, a little bit darker. You sometimes don't need a lot on your block because you're only doing little flowers. Okay, so you only need a little bit. Just depends whether you want a really dark flower or a really soft colour. And you can highlight these up, okay? So you can come in and do it really light, and then you can come in and highlight with some darker. Depends how you want to do it. Beautiful. And then the other one. Always turn your paper around when you're colouring as well, so you're not putting your hand over what you've coloured and you don't smudge it. You can see you can get very light if you want to, just by not loading that brush up as much. But if you want really dark, you load your brush up a lot more. I love the colours with the Wink Castello. Tomorrow we have Crafty Monday at 1. Don't forget that. I have got the washi tape to share with everyone that's been asking me to share the washi tape. How do you do it, Teresa? I've got a beautiful card that was sort of casing from the catalogue, but not. If that makes sense. Okay, clean that brush off again. Clean this off again. Like I said, you don't need lots of ink. Really, you only need a tiny little bit. But don't go putting your Wink Castello into your ink pad, because believe me, you'll end up with so much gloss in there or glitter in there, and it's not nice. Especially if you don't want glitter on something. Okay, Old Olive first. We're going to do the leaves just in Old Olive. And I have got my green here, which I did before, so I'm going to use that up. Okay, and we're just doing the leaves. The little ones we're doing, the little sticks we're doing in Darling Duckling. We're bringing in a different colour. Okay, how's everyone going? You all going good? I hope so. You might be using a completely different stamp set, and that's fine if you haven't got one of my post-out kits. That's fine. Just do whatever you have at home, okay? The post-out kits are a special price. They're $45, which usually is, the value is around $70 for me to teach, as well as the products. But I'm giving it $45, plus you can pick up from my home to save postage if you're near me, or you can pay the postage, which is roughly around $15, because it's quite heavy and I like to pack it nice and steady for you. So yeah, fill out the form and register. The registration form's on the event page. Okay, so once again, colour this off. Make sure it's all clean. I'm going to put that green over there because we use a lot of green. And I'm going to get the Darling Duckling. Now, I went with the Darling Duckling because it's just a little bit not as bright as our Daffodil Delight. That's really bright, but this one's more of a darker one, which I thought would go nice for these ones here. And you can just do a little bit of shadowing like in with them. Okay, we'll come up here. And then we've got two on this side. What's the weather like where everyone is? It's sort of overcast today here in Warragul. We were very lucky, it was quite warm for our Craft Alive weekend, or week I should say, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, which was very different this year. Something different, but it was really good. Okay, now we've got all that coloured in. We're going to let that dry a bit. It's going to come onto the green one that you have in there, the old olive, which is 11 by 7. It's going to go on there, but before we do that, I'm going to grab my mix and match stamp. Now, like I said, you can use whatever you have in your stash at home. There's no right or wrong. But I chose the greetings of the seasons to go with the suite that we're using because it had lots of different single words in it that I really liked. Like we're going to add on this one, Happy Christmas, or you can put Happy New Year. So I really liked that idea. That was a great mix and match. And that's what I love to do when I'm... Okay, where's my happy? Here it is. It's what I like to do when I'm buying stamps. I like to think of what it will go with what I've got in my stash at home as well, which is a really good idea. So I'm going to have, you can sort of work out which way you want it, but I'm going to have it that the happy goes up here and the Christmas goes down along the bottom there. Okay, if your stamp isn't sticking properly, just grab your chamois and give it a wipe on the back, okay, because sometimes our fingerprints get on there. And when our fingerprints get on there, it takes the stick away if you haven't used them for a little while. So just grab a chamois. This chamois I'm using, it goes with the glass mat. But you can use any chamois. And we're just going to grab our block. Have I packed those blocks away? I have. I'm just going to grab a different block. So I'm grabbing a bigger block than what I normally would. I might grab a little one for this. So I'm going to do the Mary in a little block. Okay, and I'm just doing this in Memento Black, but you can choose to do it in red or green, pink or blue. It's entirely up to you, but I'm just doing it in the Memento Black. And I've got Merry Christmas on this. You can do Happy Christmas, but I'm going to do Merry Christmas on this one. So I'm going to do the Merry up the top here. I love the photopolymer because you can see through them. Who agrees with me? They are so awesome. You can line them up so easy. Okay, so I'm going to put this back in my stamp set. And then I'm going to use the Christmas. And I'm just going to turn it around the right way and line it up to the lines on my glass mat. Okay, the glass mat is fantastic, or the grid paper, but the glass mat, it sticks to a little bit and it's fantastic. I love that. So just going to line up the Christmas and we're going to put this down the bottom here. So we've got our Merry Christmas on this one. You can have Happy Christmas or Happy New Year or Merry Christmas or whatever you want. You can put friends, you can put Happy Birthday if you wanted to do it as a birthday card, if you had different designer series paper. Okay, that's not a problem either. So this is now going to go onto here. I'm not raising it up, I'm just going to keep it as using my Tombow glue or my liquid glue, or my green glue as some people call it. I'm just going to use this. Then we're going to do the folds. So you will need your paper trimmer to do some scoring. Or if you've got a scoreboard, you can do it on the scoreboard if you've got the centimetre 1. Now I don't want to rub my fingers over the glitter, so I'm going to turn it over this way and rub down this way for it to stick. Okay, and then that way I'm not rubbing my fingers all over the glitter. And I can just wipe my board. So that's our first front piece. So we're going to put that aside for a minute. And we're going to come in with our green, 21 centimetres by 14.5 centimetres. We're going to grab our scoreboard or paper trimmer. We're going to use the light grey score tooling on this. So we're going to score at 5 centimetres. So we're going to line this up at 5. So line it up at the 5 centimetres. Come up and back. And then you're going to line it up at 7.5. So you're going to come up to 7.5, which is here. Now those who have got the kit at home, you've got all these measurements on your thing, on your list. So it's 7.5. Then you're going to come to 13.5. So you're going to come up here and move it along to 13.5. So make sure you come right up here. Put it on the 13.5. 13.5. And then you're going to do it on the 16, which is right on the, you need to lift this. It's right on the edge of this bit here. It's right on the edge of here is your 16. So you want to lift it and come in here. Make sure it's all even across the top. And you want to bring this one in here. Okay. Now let's do our folding. So we have a valley fold and then a mountain fold. Okay, a valley, and then the second fold is a mountain. So a mountain goes up and a valley comes down. So this is how your card will sit for this. This is a really easy, and I mean easy, fun fold. It is so good to use, and it's called a stand out front fold card because it stands out at the front. Okay, so this white piece that we have, which is 14 by 5.5, that comes in the back here. This is where you're going to write your message to whoever you're writing to, whoever you give the card to. So this is in here. You can decorate this up if you want to. It's entirely up to you. I'm just keeping mine plain today, but if you want to add something to it, you can. You can always do some flowers on it or whatever. Okay, so the next bit is, put this one aside. Our next piece is our designer series paper. Now, I want you to look at your designer series paper. If it's too short, don't cut it that way. Bring it so you can sort of see that you've got a little bit of a gap here and a little bit of a mat around it. So you want the longer side, which is 14, roughly about 14.3. And then you've got the shorter side, which is about 13. So you want to cut on the longer side. So let's grab our paper. Yeah, it's about 14 centimetres, so we want to cut that 14. So we want the 14 to be coming down. We want the 13 to be going across the top. Okay, so we want 4.5, so we're going to line this up at 4.5, and we're going to trim that. Oh, wrong one, that one. And then we want one at 5.5, so we're going to lift this up and put one at 5.5. Okay, I don't know if I've done that right. I've got a feeling in my head I've done it wrong. Why do you have a feeling in my head I have done it wrong? Because I have. So that one goes there, and that one goes there, and then this one goes there. And guess what, guys? I think I've shortened your paper. I forgot these sides. Did I forget this side for everyone? Oh my God, because I have in mind, I'm going to bring this up. Okay, did I forget not to put enough paper in for everyone for these two panels? Because I'm sure I have. Now, you probably have some of this paper at home if you've been using the kit. Yes, I did. Okay, I am terribly, terribly sorry. So what I'm going to suggest for you to do for today is just to grab yourself, and I was just looking at it and I'm thinking, that is not right, Teresa. A 21 centimetre by... What are we going to do? 5 centimetres... So you're going to do a 14.5 by 4.5 by 14. You need 2 of them, and that's what I forgot to write. Okay, you need 2. So grab yourself some designer series paper of your choice to go with this. Now, I don't even know if I've got any of that designer series paper. Christmas one left, maybe. I have a tiny little bit. No, different paper completely. Whoa, whoa. Sorry about that, guys. That is not like me, but I did. And we all can do it. So I am going to suggest that you put this piece in the centre. And we're going to cut our 2 small side pieces, which is roughly 3 centimetres by 14, which is going to go here. So we're going to do that one and this one. Then we're just going to add white to this one today. Okay. So this has got to be 14 by, what did I say that one was? Now, this is how you pivot. This was not intentionally. Just under 3, this one is. This was not intentionally done, but it can happen. So how do you pivot? We're pivoting it around today. And then just grab some basic white cardstock that you have. And we're going to measure it at 14.1. So we're going to cut it at 14.1. Okay. You've got the measurements on your instruction sheet to do another one, guys at home. And then we're going to do the N1, which is attached 5.5 centre, 4.5. So we're going to do the 2 at 4.5. 4.5 and 4.5. I'm just making you work hard. Now you've got two choices with this. You can run them through embossing folders, you can leave them plain, or you can come in and add some stamping on it. So you can do your own stamping on it. But I'm just going to put it together like this today so that you can sort of see how it goes. And I do apologise for leaving a little bit of paper out. We'll try not to do that next time. Okay. We're going to put this one in. This is our centre one. So our centre one was 5.5 by 14.2. That's going to go into our centre between the folds and a little gap at the top and the bottom. Then our polka dot ones are 3 centimetres by 14.2. You can have this if you want, but I'm going to put polka dot on mine. That one looks a little bit wide. Well, that's probably, it is a little bit wide. So what do you do when you've got glue on it and now you want to cut it? Does anyone know what you do? I'm going to show you. Grab a chamois, wipe your paper, wipe the glue off your paper. Okay, it's going to be tacky. It's going to be sticky, sticky, sticky. And then you're going to grab your embossing buddy, your friend in crafting, and you're going to rub it across the back. Now, good little idea there. That's gold nugget plus. Okay, now we're going to measure, because I don't know why I've done that a little bit crooked, but I have. So 2 centimetres wide. Okay. We're going to put this now on our paper trimmer to the 2. Now, how do you hold it when your fingers get in the way? Let me share with you another tip, another gold nugget. Grab a Post-it note as a spare set of fingers. Line it up at your 2, either the right-hand side or the left-hand side of your paper trimmer, and then put your spare fingers over it. Then you can just trim it. That is now 2, and that's going to go in there perfectly. We probably have to cut the other one as well. Luckily, we haven't put glue on this one. I don't know. And you can line it up, like I said this time, I'll line it up to this side. Add your spare fingers. Make sure that you've got it lined up. Add your spare fingers. Hold it down and cut it. Now, I don't think that would have made a big difference of me cutting that the wrong measurement for our extra ones. So that's okay. Now we're going to stick these in here, but I'm going to stick them down this way. This is how you modify when you're following a pattern and you do it wrong. Okay, now another thing. Oh my God, you look at you and you go, oh my God. Look down here, guys. I bet you're all yelling out, Teresa, we can see your head. Teresa, we can only see your head. Okay, so I'm going to show you what I did. I wiped my glue with my chamois. Then I got my embossing buddy and went over the glue side. It removes the glue like that. It puts the powder on it. Then I cut it down. Are you all laughing now? I bet you are. Then I'm going to wipe the powder off and I'm going to come back with the glue. I trimmed them down to 2 centimeters. And I'll show you how I did that again, because I was talking about spare fingers. And guess what? Honey, you saw it. Don't worry. Oh my God, we've made another little mistake here. We have put too much glue to the edge. Now, what are we going to do with this bit? We're going to grab that chamois again. We're going to wipe that little bit off. Then we're going to let it dry. Once it's dry, we're going to come over it with our embossing buddy again to take that stick away. Okay, so once it's dry, we're just going to come down with a little bit of embossing buddy along that edge, and now there is no glue. I'm going to show you tips throughout the project. Sorry, guys. Now, you can do, like I said, you can emboss these ones, you can leave them plain, you can add colour to them, you can wait and get some paper and add to it. It's entirely up to you. I'm just going to do this. I've got another one made that I can share with you that's completely done. But I'm just going to add the white on here. And you can stick whatever you like on here. And yes, I'm going to still share how to use your spare fingers. Just give me a minute and I'll do that. And put the white on this side as well. Oh, God, Teresa. Okay, so it sits like this. Then our beautiful front piece comes across like this. So you want to raise this up, but you want to make sure that you're only raising up in between this area here. So what I normally do is put it down so it's equal to virtually nearly your sides. Move it down a fraction, grab your dimensions, and you can see this is going to go up there. Okay, so you know that's going to go up there. So pop your fingers there, and you're just going to come up a little bit from your fingers to get your 4 dimensions. Once you've got them, you can place your front into where it's meant to go. And that's your little front one. Okay, before I bring this up, I'm going to show everyone what I did when I was talking about spare fingers and cutting a small piece. So say for instance we want to cut this little piece into a 1 centimetre. It's very hard because when you bring this over, it usually moves. You don't have a lot of room to hang on to it because you can't, because your ruler is going to be in the way. So line it up at the 1 centimetre, grab a Post-it note that's got the stick on it. That becomes your spare finger. You can hold that now, then run it up, and you've got perfect 1 centimetre strip. Okay, I hope that tip was a really good one too. Okay, how many of you yelled at me and said, put it down, we can't see what we're doing, what you're doing. So this is the one we made, and we pivot this one around because for some reason I left out these 2 panels. But this is the one that I did earlier, and it's got a message in the back as well. And then the little dimenties that you received, you will see that they go in the center of the flowers. Okay, these little gems. Okay, so, and then it just folds in like that, and it fits into an envelope. Okay, and I've got in the back, may your holiday season be filled with warmth and cheerful celebrations. And you'll find that in one of your, any of your saying ones for Christmas. You can choose whichever one you want. Okay, so this is the one we did today. I'm sorry we got white on there, but that's okay. You can still decorate this up, okay? So it's not a problem. I am going to give everyone until 2:45 to have a little break, and then we'll come back and we'll do card 8. Okay, thanks for watching, and I hope you all picked up some great tips on if you make a mistake, how you can pivot around. God bless you, and I'll see you all very soon at 2:45 for our next card.